Yes.
Hit that air raid sign. It's time for Monday Morning Fallout. Still kind of mumbly. Monday Morning Fallout, of course, when we overreact to the football weekend, and I imagine there's a couple of things we could probably talk about.
I guess.
We'll talk about state championship games. We'll start with my 3 big thoughts. Thought number 1, a win for Texas high school football. In the end, we will, and there are going to be people who disagree with this. Manville fans will disagree with this. Kennedale fans will disagree with this. If you're on the wrong side of this, wrong side of a state championship game, I'm sure you're not exactly feeling like this was the greatest weekend of all time. And I get that. But on the whole, this was maybe the best weekend for Texas high school football, the brand, that we've had in a long time. The state championship games were on SportsCenter 3 of the 4 days that they were on, including a 3-minute segment on one game alone. Okay.
Does anyone actually watch SportsCenter though? Can't be that big a deal.
My point is, people were talking about Texas high school football across the nation. And I think a lot of people, there's a notion of like Texas high school football. It is what it is. It has its fan base.
Yeah.
But this is a sport that can grow. It's a sport that has growth potential in excitement and people can follow it.
Right.
And so if you are a fan of Texas high school football and you want to see the sport flourish, I think this weekend was a big, big win for a number of reasons. One, the games were great. There were straight bangers from there were about 4 games in a row on Friday and Saturday that might be the best 4-game stretch you may ever see in the state championship game weekend. Just banger after banger after banger. Okay, there's that. But also, and another thing, and not to kiss the behind of somebody who has cut me checks in the past.
Here we go.
But Fox Sports Southwest's coverage of it, I think, was so crucial to this. And not just because the games are televised, but also because they told the stories. Mm-hmm. And that is ultimately what's going to get the neutral fan interested, are the stories. The story of W.T. Johnston, the story of Kehlani Nava, the story of Pleasant Grove, the story of Refugio, the story, all these kind of, those are what's going to get the neutral involved. And so when I tell you that Fox Sports Southwest has really invested in Texas high school football, I don't mean they're going to show more games.
Right.
What I mean is that they are going to treat it like a Super Bowl.
Right.
And they're going to say, look, this is important, and there are storylines that surround it in the same way that you get really beat down with the same 2 storylines every Super Bowl. They want to do this for all these games. And so if you are interested in seeing Texas high school football grow, I think this weekend was fantastic for that.
Yeah.
That's thought number 1, a big win for Texas high school football. Thought number 2, make yourself at home. If there was one theory that died a death over state championship game weekend, it was that, that team's got an advantage because they've played in a state championship before.
Yeah, no.
The state championship experience
Did not matter.
idea was so overblown.
Yeah.
Raising my hand,
Yeah.
I was the one who did it.
Yeah.
Because it makes sense, right?
Yeah. And most years, you feel like you're proven true when you say it.
Nobody cared this year. Nobody. There was basically only a couple of teams, like Highland Park and Carthage, essentially, that were like, we're going to use our advantage in having been here before over a team that hasn't to run to a win.
Right.
Otherwise, Strawn over Balmorhea. Balmorhea was there last year. Strawn hadn't been since 2009. Yeah. Munster's first trip to a title game, no problem. Mart beats the defending champ Refugio. Newton beats the defending champ Gunner. Rockdale's first title since 1976. Pleasant Grove, who had never been to a title game, beating West Orange Stark, who'd been in the last 3. College Station over Aledo. Aledo has more pedigree than almost anybody in the state.
Yep.
It simply didn't matter. It didn't matter. And in close games, I think in a lot of respects, look, I'm going to get to this in a moment, but our picks were horrifying.
Yeah.
But in a lot of respects, because these games were so close, and because these matchups were so evenly matched, I think in a lot of respects, we said, we're going to go with the team with the pedigree.
Right.
We're
Team's
going
been here.
to go with Aledo because they've been here before. College Station's a great team, but we're going to go with Aledo. We're going to go with West Orange Stark, 40-game winning streak over a team that hasn't been here before. We're going to go with Brock. They won a title in 2015. Rockdale, they haven't been back here in 1960.
We're going to go with Midway. Midway's used to being in this position.
Right. And first championship game for Cy-Fair, the stage might be too big. The moment was not too big for the newbies.
Yeah.
Munster looked like a team that belonged.
Yeah.
That was a running theme over the course of state championship weekend, is that it did not matter if you had been there before. It mattered who the better team was on that day.
Right.
So make yourself at home. And thought number 3, do upsets exist in title games? So if you go talk to the people who run computer systems, right? If you go talk to our own Jerry Forrest, or you go talk to Carl Padilla, or you go talk to the Harris Ratings folks, they will tell you that this slate of Texas high school football state championship games were maybe the most evenly matched that we've seen in a while.
Yeah.
There was really only I believe our computer system, Jerry's computer system, had one game that was a double-digit favorite. And, of course, it was Manville over Highland Park.
Right.
Of course.
Of course.
So the question is, though, can an upset exist in a title game? Is Cy-Fair over Midway an upset? I think we all picked Midway. We thought they were the team that had proved themselves, but boy howdy did Cy-Fair come out throwing haymaker after haymaker, and that was an avalanche of Bobcats.
Yeah.
An avalanche. But is that an upset? Because they were in the state championship game.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? That's something I've kind of thought about. Is that an upset? Is College Station over Aledo an upset? From a pedigree perspective, you bet. From a pedigree perspective, there's no doubt it's an upset. But on the field, didn't really seem like it. Seemed like two evenly matched teams in a game decided by special teams, which is kind of what we expect in state championship games. Was Highland Park over Manville an upset? The computer says it was. But Highland Park's the defending champs. And, look, I mean, I don't think anybody can call it an upset when it was decided by 1 yard, right? That's how evenly matched those two teams were. Was Pleasant Grove over West Orange Stark an upset? All the narratives would tell you yes.
Right.
40-game winning streak for West Orange Stark. 2-time defending champs. 4th consecutive title game appearance. Pleasant Grove. Little ding-dong Pleasant Grove. Never been here. Have never even come close.
No big deal.
No big deal.
No big deal.
Took through the first punch. So that's kind of a question that I'm going to kind of mull over the offseason is, do upsets exist in title games when you've got two teams that we know are really good?
Right.
And that's something that's kind of my brain grapes have to soak it in. Those are 3 big thoughts. 3 helmet stickers. A helmet sticker to Highland Park wide receiver Cade Sawstad. You didn't think I was going to say him. Cade Sawstad is the reason that Highland Park is state champion right now. John Stephen Joseph, fantastic. They had other players who were excellent. The defense made plays when they needed to. Herring, I want to say Jason Herring, but it's not. Whoever the Herring was the name of the last name of the guy who held Jalen Preston out at the 1 yard line.
Oh, right, yeah. Big play.
Big play. The reason they're state champs, I think, is Cade Sawstad, who was uncoverable, who had big catch after big catch after big catch, and, by the way, recovered the onside kick that ultimately led to their lead.
That's probably your deal breaker. I would say you're crazy that it has to be John Stephen Jones, but that onside kick was huge.
It was so big. Yeah. It was so big.
Yeah.
And Cade Sawstad was the game breaker. When Manville had all these guys who could take it to the house on every touch, Cade Sawstad was the game breaker for Highland Park. He gets a helmet sticker. A helmet sticker for strong kicker Kaylani Nava. I mentioned this a little bit earlier. I think 6-man football, this was a huge weekend for them.
Yeah.
I think that the Kaylani Nava story, of course, she's the first female player to score in a Texas high school football state championship game. I think it went viral.
Yep.
Not to toot my own horn, ESPN reached out to me for the video to use it, and they put it on Instagram, and it's been viewed like 60 million times of her kicking that extra point. It's gone viral. It was in the New York Post. They're quoting TexasFootball.com. They had all this stuff. And Kehlani Nava, not only is it remarkable she went 9 for 10 on extra points, and the only missed extra point was a block, which is not her fault. Not only is it important that she was great, but the grace with which she handled the attention, I think, was really admirable. That she didn't mouth off, she didn't say stupid stuff, she didn't act like a 17-year-old in a lot of respects, right? She approached this with grace and class, and I think this is such a big moment for six-man football because there's a lot of people around the state and around the nation who've never heard of six-man football, and here's an opportunity to say, hey, what is this sport? So a helmet sticker to Kehlani Nava. And a helmet sticker to Newton coach W.T. Johnston. On the Fox broadcast, he called his shot. He said, he was talking to Neil Beasley before the game, and he said, I think Gunner's cocky. I don't think Gunner knows what's coming. And you know what? He came up with a game plan that made it look like Gunner didn't know what was coming.
Yeah.
Because Newton came out firing. And in a lot of respects, this is the team we thought we would see from Newton, which is that high-powered attack, a lot of speed on the outside, and a defense. The defensive speed for Newton ended up being the difference. But a lot of that comes back to W.T. Johnston. Yeah. And when you talk to those players, they say, we won this for Coach.
Yeah.
Of course, his double lung transplant and it's a remarkable story. If you haven't seen his post-game interview with Sarah Merrifield after the game, it's real. Oh, God, it'll get you. But a helmet sticker for W.T. Johnston, who doesn't wear a helmet, but we'll get him a helmet and we'll put a sticker on it. 3 to C. So the season's over, but there's still a lot of stuff on the horizon. Here's 3 things to keep an eye on. February, UIL realignment. It's the big day.
Yep.
It's coming up in February at some point. We'll get new districts, new regions, new everything. That's when the 2018 Texas high school ball season will really start to take shape, is in realignment in February. Also coming in February, National Signing Day. That is something that maybe has lost a little bit of luster. There are some teams that, some guys who already signed.
Pretty much know the majority of the big schools classes. There's only a few guys left to get. Although, to be fair, it's not really much different than the situation we're in years before. There just wasn't a signature with it.
Correct.
Usually there were 15, 16 guys in the major schools classes. He's going there.
Right.
He's just going to wait to sign.
Right. So it's still going to be interesting in February. And Texas Football Today.
Listen,
shameless plug. We don't take the offseason off. We're here every weekday at noon on TexasFootball.com talking football in the Lone Star State, okay? We're not taking the offseason off.
Right.
We will be here for you. Will we have as much to talk about? No. When has that ever stopped us? We'll just make up topics. We're going to talk with coaches. We're going to talk with people around the state. The offseason is, in a lot of respects, when we have the most fun. Sometimes.
There's less stress, so sometimes it's easier to have more fun, but there's less to talk about, which makes things to talk about less fun.
But we can actually circle back to some of the topics that we don't have time for in the season.
That's fair enough.
So
the important things like ice cream power rankings and dumb things like that.
And football.
Oh, football, right.
So that's Monday Morning Fallout, the final Monday Morning Fallout of 2017.